My stepfather convinced my mother to forge my signature on documents that would sell my late father's farmland to investors. He called me selfish when I refused to sign and then tried desperate means. What he didn't know was that the property had legal protections my late father put in place. And what followed made me discover exactly what kind of man my mother had married. You will be surprised to see how it played out. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and let me know where you are listening from in the comments. My name is Jessica, and I am 27 years old. My life became a living hell the day my mother remarried. She married an entitled gold digger. I saw it immediately. She didn't. Or maybe she refused to see it because she was lonely after my father died and desperate for companionship. One night he moved into our family home like he owned it, brought his daughter Lisa from a previous relationship. Both of them acted like they had every right to be there, like our home was theirs to command. My stepfather and Lisa picked on me constantly, made my life difficult on multiple occasions. Small cruelties that added up, comments about my choices, criticisms of how I managed things, undermining me in front of my own mother. And my mother? She made excuses for them. Every single time. He is just adjusting to the family. Lisa is going through a difficult phase. You are being too sensitive, Jessica. I held on because I wanted my mother to be happy. I would do anything to make her happy. Even endure people who clearly did not belong in our lives. But there are limits to what anyone can tolerate. And that takes us to where the whole thing took a turn. My late father left 2 properties behind, aside the family house we live in, a large, open grazing farmland, and 10 retail shops in the city. The shops were put in my mother's name. The farmland was put in mine when I turned 18 because I had shown genuine interest in developing the family business. My father trusted me with his legacy. Everything was documented, legal, protected by my father's lawyer, a man my dad had worked with for 20 years. I started noticing my stepfather's interest in these properties. Too much interest, too many questions about valuations, about potential buyers, about maximizing family assets. My mother willingly gave him access to her retail shops, let him manage them, make decisions. I warned her it was a mistake. She ignored me. But when he set his eyes on my farmland, I drew the line. He was creative about it. I will give him that. One day, he appeared with a crew of official-looking people, told my mother there was a horse race training and competition coming to the area. They needed a wide-open field for the event. He brought papers. Just temporary usage permissions, he said with that charming smile he always used on my mother. My mother signed immediately, did not even read the documents. Then he turned to me. Jessica, you need to sign here too. Just a formality. I read the documents carefully. Usage rights, transfer clauses, potential sale agreements buried in legal language. I am not signing this. His face changed. The charm disappeared. Don't be difficult. This is a great opportunity for the family. I said no. He started calling me names. Selfish, ungrateful, childish, unreasonable. My mother joined in. Jessica, why can't you just help? It is temporary. You are being unnecessarily stubborn. I ignored both of them, refused to sign, walked away from the conversation. But I knew he would not give up that easily. I was right. My suspicions about this man intensified. I could not trust him, could not trust his intentions. So I decided to do something I had never done before. I visited the farmland at an irregular time, unannounced, just to check. What I found made my blood run cold. The field was filled with people, crews inspecting the land, measuring, surveying, taking notes. Professional-looking individuals with clipboards and equipment. I approached one of them politely. Excuse me, what are you doing here? He smiled. We are evaluating the property for purchase. The owner is selling. My heart stopped. I am the owner. Who told you this land is for sale? He looked confused, pulled out paperwork, showed me documents with my stepfather's name listed as the seller, forged documentation, fraudulent sale agreements. My signature nowhere on them because I had refused to sign, but somehow the sale was proceeding anyway. I kept my composure, smiled at the inspector. There has been a misunderstanding. I am the legal owner of this property. Only I possess the documents that can authorize this sale, and they are kept with a lawyer my father arranged. This sale is not legitimate. I made him know that was my stepfather pulling such stunts. The investor was reasonable, a businessman, not a criminal. When I explained the situation, he was willing to cooperate. Your stepfather already collected 30% of the payment, he told me. We are meeting in 3 days for the remaining 70%. I calculated my options immediately. This was not just attempted theft. This was organized fraud. Can you help me? I asked the investor. Help me catch him properly? He agreed, and I let him know how I will get through to him with details on how to go about it. I left the farmland and went straight to my car. Made 2 phone calls. First, to my father's lawyer. He needed to know someone was trying to steal property he was legally protecting. Second, to my best friend Elizabeth. She works as a detective. I need you to investigate someone, I told her. My stepfather. Everything about him. Past relationships, financial history, criminal record if he has one. Everything. How deep do you want me to go? She asked. All the way. I need to know exactly who my mother married. While Elizabeth and the lawyer started their work, I went home. Acted normal. Pretended nothing was wrong. My stepfather smiled at dinner that night. Relaxed, confident, thinking he had won. Thinking he had successfully conned his way into selling my father's legacy. Lisa chatted about her plans for the weekend. My mother talked about redecorating the house. I ate my meal quietly, listened, observed, because in 72 hours my stepfather would walk into a meeting with that investor to collect his money, and I would be waiting there with a sweet surprise for him. Elizabeth called me the next morning. Jessica, you need to sit down for this. I was already sitting, but her tone made my stomach drop. Your stepfather's real name is Richard Mallory. He has used at least 3 other names in the past decade. I found a pattern. He targets vulnerable women, widows, divorcees, women with assets. I listened without interrupting. He marries them, gains access to their property, sells everything he can, then disappears with the money. I found 3 documented cases. 3 women in 2 different states who filed complaints. But he changes names, changes locations, stays ahead of the law. My mother is just his latest victim, I said quietly. Exactly. And Jessica, there is more. He didn't come alone into this con. Lisa. Not just Lisa, he has a son. Brian, 32 years old, lives 2 states over. He is the one who finds the targets, researches wealthy widows, feeds information to his father. This is a family operation. He and they have been doing this successfully for years. I closed my eyes. My mother had not just married a con artist. She had married into an entire criminal syndicate. What about the retail shops? I asked. I am glad you asked. I checked the property records. He has already sold 3 of your mother's 10 shops. My hands clenched. She doesn't know. He forged her signature. The shops are gone. Money is in his accounts. She has no idea her assets are disappearing. I documented everything Elizabeth sent me. Photos, records, transfer documents. Built a file of evidence that would bury him. Then I did something that hurt. I investigated my own mother's finances. Found the forged signatures. Found the missing money. Found proof of systematic theft. Tell me if I am the only one feeling this way. All this is too much to digest and still compose. Drop a comment on what would have been your next action. Elizabeth's investigation uncovered his exit strategy, plane tickets, purchased 3 days after the scheduled farmland deal. Destination, a different state entirely. He was planning to abandon my mother the moment he had all the money. Just disappear. Lisa and Brian would follow separately, covering their tracks. My mother would be left with nothing, a fraction of her retail shops. No husband, no farmland, completely betrayed. I coordinated with my father's lawyer, with Elizabeth, with the investor who was cooperating fully. We set the trap carefully. The meeting was scheduled at the Grand Meridian Lounge. luxury location, public enough to seem legitimate, private enough for a business transaction. My stepfather chose it himself. Felt safe there. What he did not know was that Elizabeth had arranged for plainclothes police officers to be present, undercover, waiting. The lawyer prepared all documentation, legal proof of my ownership, evidence of fraud, forged signatures, everything we needed for arrest and prosecution. The day before the meeting, I watched my stepfather at home. He was celebrating internally. I could see it in his confidence, in the way he smiled. Lisa was packing suitcases. For a vacation? She told my mother. My mother was planning an anniversary dinner, completely oblivious to the fact that her husband was planning to rob us and disappear. At dinner that night, my stepfather caught my eye. "You should be more flexible, Jessica. Family works together. Family supports each other." I smiled at him. "You are absolutely right. Family should work together." He thought I was softening. Thought maybe he had finally won me over. He had no idea I meant my real family, my father's lawyer, Elizabeth, the people who actually cared about protecting us. That night, I barely slept. Went over the plan 100 times, made sure every detail was covered. Elizabeth texted at midnight. "Officers confirmed for tomorrow. Lawyer ready. Investor briefed. This is going to work." I replied, "It has to." The next morning, my stepfather left early, dressed in his best suit, carrying an empty briefcase for the money he thought he was about to collect. Lisa went with him. Designer dress, expensive jewelry, playing her part perfectly. I waited 30 minutes, let them get comfortable. Then I left. Elizabeth texted when I was halfway there. "Officers in position, lawyer waiting, no investor ready. Are you?" I typed back, "Let's end this." I walked into the Grand Meridian Lounge at exactly 2 p.m. The space was elegant, quiet, professional. I saw them immediately. My stepfather and Lisa sitting at a corner table, both smiling, relaxed, already imagining their new life funded by my father's legacy. The investor sat across from them, professional, serious, playing his role perfectly. My stepfather's hand was extended, ready for the handshake that would seal the deal. Ready to collect his money and destroy my family. He didn't see me yet. Didn't see the plainclothes officers sitting at nearby tables. Didn't notice the lawyer standing near the entrance. He had no idea that the next 60 seconds would destroy everything he had built. I walked toward their table. My stepfather looked up, saw me. His face changed instantly. Confusion, then recognition, then panic. And in that moment, he knew. He finally knew. He had been caught. "Jessica." My stepfather's voice cracked. "What are you doing here?" I sat down calmly next to the investor, placed my hands on the table, looked directly into his eyes. "I am here to discuss the sale of my property, the farmland you tried to sell without my permission." He stood up quickly, chair scraping. "This is a private business meeting. You need to leave." "You mean the fraud you are committing? The theft you are attempting? That private business meeting?" Lisa grabbed her purse, started to stand, trying to leave. The officers moved immediately, blocked the exits, revealed themselves. My stepfather's face went white. My father's lawyer stepped forward, placed a folder on the table, opened it to show legal documents. "These are the property deeds proving Jessica's sole ownership of the farmland. These are records of your forged sale agreements, and this is evidence of fraud, forgery, and attempted theft." The investor spoke calmly. "She is the legal owner. You are a fraud. I am cooperating with law enforcement." My stepfather tried to run, actually tried to push past the officers. They grabbed him immediately. Lisa was screaming, "Let go of me! You can't do this!" Other people in the lounge were watching, staring, witnesses to the complete exposure of his con. The officers handcuffed him, read him his rights. "You have the right to remain silent," he was shouting over them. "You don't understand. Your mother agreed. She wanted this. She signed the papers." I stood up, looked down at him. "My mother was your victim, not your accomplice. She was lonely and vulnerable, And you exploited that. But you made one critical mistake. What? He spat. You tried to steal from someone whose father actually protected her. My dad knew men like you existed. That is why he put legal safeguards in place. That is why you could never actually touch my property. You were always going to fail. Lisa was crying now, mascara running, handcuffs on her wrists and facing her father. This wasn't supposed to happen. You said it was foolproof. Nothing is foolproof when you are stealing, I said. While they were arrested at the lounge, Elizabeth was coordinating the simultaneous arrest of Brian at his apartment 2 states away. She texted me updates in real time. Found his files. He has records on at least 7 potential targets. Yes, including detailed research on your mother. Found financial records. The entire operation mapped out. He is in custody. Whole family is down. The charges came fast. Fraud. Forgery. Attempted theft. Conspiracy. Multiple counts across different victims. Previous women my stepfather had conned were contacted. They filed additional charges, added their evidence. The case against him was overwhelming. Airtight. The 30% deposit he had collected from the investor was seized as evidence. The 3 retail shops he had already sold were reversed legally. My mother's assets were recovered. My farmland was never actually touched. Still protected. Still mine. I returned home to find my mother sitting in the dark, crying. The police had already been there, told her everything, shown her the evidence. She looked up when I walked in, and her face was devastated. How did I not see it? How was I so blind? I sat beside her. Didn't say I told you so. Didn't throw my warnings back in her face. Because that isn't what she needed right now. I just held her. I understand you wanted a companion, I said quietly. You were lonely after Dad died. That is normal. That is human. I helped him try to steal from you, she sobbed. My own daughter. I was ready to forge your signature. You were manipulated by a professional con artist. This is what he does. He has done it to multiple women. You are not stupid. You are not weak. You were targeted. She hugged me tighter. You saved me. You saved us both. The trial revealed the full scope of their operation. Richard, Lisa, and Brian had been running cons for over a decade, targeting vulnerable women, stealing systematically, or destroying lives. Other victims came forward, testified, got their justice too. The family was convicted on multiple counts, facing serious prison time, years behind bars. My mother and I began rebuilding, slowly, carefully. We managed the properties together now, made decisions jointly. She learned to trust her instincts again, learned to see red flags. I won't make that mistake again, she told me one evening. I would rather be alone and at peace than with the wrong person. Not at my age. Peace should be a luxury I can afford. I smiled. Peace is something we both deserve. We rebuilt from where we stopped, strengthened our bond, healed the damage Richard had caused. And every time I drive past that farmland, I remember my father. Remember how he protected me even after he was gone. You remember that real love means safeguarding the people you care about. Thanks for listening to the end. If you have ever watched someone you love get manipulated by a con artist, remember this. Protecting the people you care about sometimes means being the villain in their eyes until they see the truth. Trust your instincts, protect your assets, and know that real love doesn't demand you sacrifice your inheritance. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories about family protection, exposing con artists, and choosing vigilance over blind trust.